As you guys know, I'm transitioning to digital SLR on this channel. Used to shoot everything on my iPhone, unbelievably. And as anyone who is shooting digital SLR, especially video, you know there's just a lot of gear that you're gonna have to tote around as opposed to being able to just put your phone in your pocket and hit the road. So for me, picking a quality backpack that I'd be able to hike around with and be able to get to different locations so that I could get some of this different run and gun footage was really important. And I'm happy to say that I found a really good backpack that is going to suit my needs really well. It's the Vanguard Reno 45. This is a relatively small backpack, but it has a dedicated digital SLR compartment, as well as a kind of stash compartment on top, and a number of other little features and quality construction that, for me, set it apart as a very versatile run and gun bag for me as a YouTuber. So as you can see, obviously there's a chest strap here. This is definitely an outdoor style of backpack, although it is certainly not a dedicated camping backpack. There's no suspension system in place in the straps. You do have some waist straps here that I've just basically never used because the pack, for me, when it's fully loaded, isn't quite heavy enough where I need that. Although if I'm going to be doing any cycling, I'll definitely be using these waist straps here. There is what you basically call a top loader compartment on top to just drop gear in. It's just a wide open compartment, but then down below you have a little zipper for stashing stuff. All of the camera gear is actually stored on the back, so what you end up getting is basically a bag with a very clean look. It looks just like an ordinary backpack. There's just no possibility of leaving the back of the bag open and things falling out, whether it's from the side or from the back. So it's easily a bag that once you've got it packed properly, you can just grab it and go for it. Let's go into a little bit more detail talking about this bag. First of all, here's a shot of that upper compartment. As you can see, it's just a single zipper opening, and then on the inside, you can just dump gear in there. I would say that the upper compartment is definitely the biggest love it or hate it feature in this bag. On the one hand, having a wide open compartment means that it's going to give you a lot of flexibility for things that you might have already packed in a separate bag that you might be throwing in there, say like a lunch or some gear that's already in its own package. Like, for example, a first aid kit. For the hyper-organized person, though, this might be a deal breaker. For me, a real selling point of the bag was the camera compartment. Now, of course, your camera compartment needs will depend completely on the system that you're using. But for me, with a Canon 60D and a Sigma 18-35 lens, this fits really well. There's plenty of room for the large lens and relatively large camera body, especially in this mirrorless era, and all kinds of accessories that I'm going to be needing for the camera as I'm running and gunning. White balance, various filters, an extra light if I'm shooting in an environment where I could use that extra light. There's just plenty of accessories that can fit in along with the camera and lens. Now, I think it's probably true that I could fit a small prime lens in with this bag if I wanted, and I probably will do that if there's ever a need for it, but for now, I'd like to keep most of my audio equipment in the spot where I would probably fit a smaller prime lens. Of course, the camera compartment is an insert that you can pull out, mostly handy if you want to pack that really precisely before you put it in the bag or if you need to clean it for any reason. Of course, you can use the lower part of the bag as just a backpack as well. Overall, my experience of the lower compartment of the bag is basically just exactly what I need. There is a perfect little rain cover that is stowed away at the bottom of the bag like many hiking backpacks in the event of emergencies. I just haven't used it yet, but it looks like it's a good quality rain cover that I should be able to rely on if it suddenly starts raining. Let's talk through the exterior pockets real quick. They really are there just to stow some extra accessories, and so I just have a lens cleaner and a button release for the camera. Basically, this is the kind of stuff that you wouldn't really want to store anything. This is, of course, for a tablet, but there's only padding at the bottom, not on the side of the bag at all, so really not something you would want to store a tablet in without any kind of extra padding. As you can see there, the padding starts right at the bottom of the bag. So you could, carry a laptop or something small in there just for a very short term. But definitely not if there's any risk of banging things around. One of the things that I liked about this bag was the straps on the side of the bag so that you could carry a monopod along with that water bottle holder on the bottom. Definitely pretty sturdy. In fact, the stitching on the bag throughout is very nicely done, very consistent, and all the plastic hardware seems to be a little bit overbuilt. This is no Maxpedition, but it's definitely a bag that I think will hold up to regular wear. The straps are comfortable, airy, and the zippers have great pulls on them. They should be very easy to use, even when you're in a rush. Here's a shot of a miniature tripod in that side compartment, and here's a sense of scale of the bag. I would say this is not bigger than a 16-liter bag overall, and it is bright orange. I chose that just because it was the cheapest and also because I don't ever want to lose this bag. Guys, make sure to let me know what kind of camera bag you're using for your digital SLR gear, or just in general, what's your grab-and-go bag for your daily needs. If you're a YouTuber and you have a setup with a digital SLR, I'd love to hear what kind of backpacking stuff is of best interest to you. Make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And as always, thanks a lot for your time. It's certainly not a serious hiking. Whoa, there it goes.